All right, we're live on Facebook, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Today we've got Janki. She's our special guest. And if you're in the Chime community, you know who she is. We want to talk a little bit about AI and how she uses it with her business, because she's been doing really well over the last few months. She's actually been in massive growth mode, which is cool to see. It's very cool to see. Let's dive into this. So how are you using AI right now?
How am I using it? Wow. First of all, I have it right here on my phone. And I am always getting pinged right here on my phone. It's my Chime um, site, and I get messages all the time. And everybody does. If you have AI, it's right here. And it's so easy to see when they do reply. You get the messages and you just reply back. You see what's going on in the back end, obviously. But the best part about it is you kind of see the conversation they're having. And once you see the conversation they're having with AI, or they say, no, I don't want to talk to you. No, we're not interested. What do you do? What do? We don't bother them, but we put them on a smart plan and we put them on a property search. But I have converted quite a few in just this AI assistant, this AI chat right here. It's so simple, you guys.
So how do you recommend people that are using it to use it better? Because they turn it on, but they expect it just to like kind of run their own business, but you interject at the right moments too.
Well, you don't interject. You're not going to, let's put it this way. If you're not always in lead generation mode, a lead follow-up mode, then there's something wrong with your business. You're not gonna make it to what you want in your business plan, right? You have to always be in lead generation mode. Always keep that hat at the back of your pocket, because even if I'm in the car and I see a message coming through, I will reply. And one thing I've taught my ISAs is speed to lead matters, right? Speed to lead matters. They see that you're replying back to them and you see the conversations happening. And they're like, oh, wow, I'm not talking to a robot. Sometimes they'll ask that too. Hey, am I talking to a robot? And I'm like, nope, I'm a real person here. That's when you interject. You've got keywords that they say, and that's how you interject. Or sometimes they'll say, there'll be a message saying, can I send you property searches? And they say, yes. And to that, I say, oh, that's awesome. Where are you looking? And you start a conversation, right? You start a conversation by saying, oh, okay, just curious, out of curiosity, where are you looking to buy? Or when do you see that happening? How do your finances look? Wait a minute, I'm asking you too many questions. Let's chat. What's a good number to call you at? Or may I call you now? Do you have a few minutes now?
So what are your triggers? Sorry to interrupt. What are your triggers so that when the AI is chatting with the lead, when is the light bulb go off that I need to interject with this person? When do you do that?
Okay, great question. So my one of the things is when AI says, we've received your inquiry online. I'm Anna with eXp Realty. How can we help you? And they respond to that and say, I'm looking for homes. That's
so right away.
Right away.
Basically.
There is one, and I've posted so many of these on our group. There's one, I'm trying to find someone that has responded. There's one that'll say, hey, what time does daytime or evening time works best for you, or something of that sort. And they'll always say evening time. Oh, great. Okay. What time works best for you, 5 p.m. or 7 p.m.? You interject, right? Sometimes they'll say, yes, I am looking, and they'll just start a conversation. That is your cue to just dive in and ask them another question, right? Or convert it right on spot. I do that with Rhea on Wailopo as well, Tristan.
I love that. And I love that you put the examples in the community, by the way.
Yes.
It does help people understand how to process those. All right. So I have a question for you in regards to how you educate your team to use the AI, because one of the biggest challenges I've had is the team coming in and saying, well, why is this on, right? Why are they talking to my leads, right? Mm-hmm. Or, you know what, they messed up here. They're not as forgiving as I am, because I can kind of see the overall picture, right?
Yeah.
They can pinpoint it to one thing and be like, look, they screwed up here out of 1,000 times.
Yeah.
And that makes me angry. But how do you deal
Yeah.
with it?
It reminds me of, since we're talking about sports in the very beginning, it reminds me of the old coaching phrase that my coaches would tell me, that one screw up will erase 20 attaboys. You have 20 great plays in a row. If you screw up one time, it's lights out, right? So anyone here who is getting caught up on one or two AI slip ups are probably immediately forgetting about the 19 other conversations you've been able to have because of that. So I would just ask that you don't let this short-term memory negatively impact long-term decisions, right? Don't let a short-term decision make a long-term impact. So,
and that's an exact conversation I had yesterday with one of my admins. She was completely demotivated for about a couple of days. And I'm like, well, what is the challenge? And I sat down with her and I did a review with her, a performance review. And in that, I asked her, I dug a little deeper and I found out that the client that was about $4 million client that we got decided not to buy right now. So she took it upon her that she didn't send out the properties in time to her, or she didn't, put them on the right search. And I had to kind of coach her into it that, yes, it's lights out, but it's not your fault. At that point, the client decided to wait. There's only so much you can do as a realtor, right? There's only so much conversations, guidance, knowledge you can share with your clients. And after that, it's up to them. They want to come back a few years later or a month later or 2 months later, that $3 million or $4 million price point has already gone up to closer to 5 mil, right?
Yeah, Tristan and Mark have a great story about that.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Dude, we have a ton.
Tee Tristan up now.
Yeah. No, that was a
Let's
perfect.
Let's do it.
Randy, you want me to chime in?
That was like the best introduction Randy has ever done.
I missed this story.
Wow.
Brett, Randy's getting the hang of this.
I know he really is. It's taken 17 episodes, but he finally has got it.
What am I missing? I need to hear this story. Come on, Tristan, talk to me.
Go ahead, Tristan, with that perfect segue that Randy set you up with.
One of the biggest things that I love about the team, right? It's a challenge with the team sometimes, but one of the things I love about the team is that we all obsess over responding super quickly, right? Like literally we're freaking out. I'm freaking out. Randy knows because I text him. I'm like, dude, right? And that's something that no matter who jumps in, I need that to be an urgency.
Mm-hmm.
Because even if we're reaching out to them and they're saying, hey, we're not going to do anything for a year from now, it doesn't matter to me. We're trying to catch them when they're on our site to find their motivation. Because sometimes if we don't reach out now, we're never going to be able to contact them and find that motivation. And then we're trying to play catch up. So there have been a few times where when we call quickly, because of the AI engaging, this is why it's important, right? We transition over to real person, pick up the phone and try to close them, meaning find their motivation, see where they're at, right? And see if they're closable at that moment. And a lot of times they are. It's one that just happened. You guys don't know about this because I haven't told you, but yesterday we had one come in. We have a few leads come in. I don't think I have as many leads coming in as Brett a day, but we have a few. We have a few.
Yeah, just a few.
And one of them came in yesterday, Pacific Palisades, and they come through and they just reach the AI. The AI engages with them, and they start already talking to the AI like they know them because I guess they thought they knew us. And so the conversation quickly turned into, I need to list my house as soon as possible because I found the home that I want, right? I'm not sure why we didn't list our home 2-3 months ago. And I don't know who the hell they were talking to before, but now they're talking to us. And so Mark, who happens to get the lead, picks it up and says, hey, your home, we never talked to you before, but we can list your home. So he listed their home yesterday, same day.
Wow.
Same day. And they're listing it for $2 million and they're buying a $3 million home that they already found. The challenge is that I'm not sure that that $3 million home is going to be available by the time we have everything going on their home.
Yeah.
The thing is
Right.
that I engaged with them first for
See?
Mark to be able to jump in and take that over.
This is what I mean. Lead to speed matters. You have no idea how many times I am texting my ISA, sending the leads, the responses I get, the text messages I get. This is why. This is exactly why, because you can catch them right there and then and convert and move and get the listing agreement signed and get moving on it. You know, this is exactly why. And I think a lot of people miss that part. And then they obviously say, well, AI is not working for us. Well, how can AI work for you if you're not working it? It takes two, right, to tango. And here it is right here. They're engaging. They're already doing the engagement part for you. You got to pick up the phone when you see that really cooking, like when, you know, that brisket is really warming up and really cooking, and, you know, you want to take a bite of it, but you can't, you know, because it's not really cooked, you guys. That's what it is all about, right? I mean, really.
Randy, that analogy was for you.
Yes, it's for the sandwich, you know.
Yes. I love me some brisket.
I tried.
That's amazing. I cooked a grilled salmon and chicken on the old grill last night. It was a lovely evening. But I mean, you're exactly right. You're exactly right. And back to your original point about your teammate being just being disappointed because the client decided to wait rather than actually purchase now. It's one of those situations where you realize that clients buy on their own time. You can't force people to buy. And it goes back to what you said even before that you always have to be generating leads, because you can't live and die by this one person at a time, right? You have to have
it's a numbers game.
Pipeline.
It's a numbers game, you guys, right? At the end of the day, it's a numbers game. You have to have your numbers in front of you all the time. You have to have your business plan in front of you all the time. You know, something that Jennifer Salter said just the other day in Lab Coat Agents, she said, if you wake up in the morning every single day and have nothing to do, guess what? In 30 days, you'll be unemployed. We as realtors, entrepreneurs, we got to know how a business works, right? We got to know how our business works. We have to be in that mindset constantly. We take days off and time off, but you know, if you're not doing the work, then hire someone else that can get the job done. But then if you can't even do that, then don't pay for leads, because you're wasting your money at that point. And I used to be that way. I used to pay for leads and say, well, they're not working for me. Well, what did I do to actually procure them, right? What did I do to actually engage with them? What did I do? What did my team do? And how fast did I do that? I think AI is so important. And the sooner that you engage with them. There was one night, I think I shared the story the last time, Tristan, in Chime. I was talking to a guy, 10 o'clock at night. I guess an AI message went out at 8:45 or 7:30 or 8:45. He responded at 10 o'clock. He said, yes, I'm still looking, but I have a huge home. And he had Bollywood movie stars movies coming. Actually, his home was one. You remember that, right? And he said, I want to sell that. Well, guess what? He wanted us to list it right away. Well, we went there and we looked at it. We had a buyer within our system that loved the home and wanted to buy it. It was about $4 million. And he has another 11 homes right around Fremont. If I did not engage at 10:30 at night, I'm not saying everyone do that, but you need to kind of like, you know, do something about it. Like even say, hey, Janki's not in the office right now, but she'll be more than happy to call you at 9 a.m. in the morning. Does that work for you? How does that sound? You know what I mean? Just engage with them so they know that you're there.
I like that. And that's true. I have a question. If you guys don't have any questions on what she said, I'm going to transition slightly. You're good? All right.
Do it.
Cool.
Do it.
My question is this, Janki, when you've set up your AI to respond, is there a specific time that you don't have it responding, like in the day while your in-house or VA ISAs are calling, or is it like 24 hours a day? Are they also responding in chat, online leads? Are they engaging with everybody? What does that look like?
Anytime, every time. I mean, look, you don't know what your client schedules are, right? I keep it 24, as
Yep.
much as I can, at least, or keep it to eight to 8, or 8 to 9, something like that. Because you got to remember, while you're working right now, they're working too. So it's their working hours as well. And especially my clients who are software engineers, and we just got another client that is one of the directors of Google, and he's on the board of directors at Google.
Wow.
And he is one of our clients. He's looking at almost $15 million in Los Altos Hills. And, I can't pass that on to anyone. I got to cater to that, obviously,
Right.
because they came directly to me asking for me. But here's the thing. He called me at 9 o'clock at night. Am I really going to go and say, well, wait, I can't call you? And if that's your prerogative, that's okay. That's all right. But I'm not. I'm more like, take it when it comes. Talk to them. You have a minute, talk to them. They're engaging with you. Why not? And now this $15 million client, I'm going to go see him on Friday, him and his wife on Friday. $8 million is cash, the rest of it possibly financing.
That's awesome.
So
I like
that's
that.
converted right there,
But that has to do with mindset. Brandy, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, you're exactly right. The mindset. What I want to point out is, Janki, like Tristan said, is in this hyper growth mindset. And so some of you may be hearing that Janki is engaging at 8:30 at night, or she's working really early in the morning and doing all of these things because she's in hyper growth mode. And you're saying to yourself, well, I don't want to do that.
Right.
Okay, well, then you're probably not going to be in hyper growth mode. So just pick.
Exactly.
Pick and
There
be
were
okay with
times, first of all, I always leave the AI on 24 hours.
Yeah.
The AI never gets turned off, because you know what? What if I want to go to like a soccer game, or what if I want to go spend time with Aurora doing something, or that the AI is always running, period. It's buying my time back. But at the same time, dude, I remember vividly sleeping at my office. Like, people would wake me up on my desk like, bro, you slept here last night? I'm like, oh, morning. And then, of course, this is how well they knew me. They would walk in, they'd be like, hey, you slept here last night. Here's a coffee. And it was like, you guys know me.
People would do that to me too, but it was usually working hours, so I had no excuse.
Oh.
See, that's the thing. That's the thing that you guys. Oh, wait a minute.
You saw where that was going.
I just got it.
Just got it. That's all I was going to say.
Oh, man. But no, the thing is, when you're in growth mode, especially hyper growth mode, you use everything you can get. I mean, at that point, you're grasping for every straw you can get. And people say, well, why would you want to do that to yourself? And the answer is because that's how you grow. That's how you better yourself as a business. And the cool part is, while you're growing your business, Chime is there with the AI helping you. It's buying your time back.
Exactly. And that's the beauty of AI. And I've shown you proof to where it works. I mean, I've seen the responses come in, and I sit back and say, okay, and I have to be the judge of, really deciding to where and when should I say what. And you should know what to say as a realtor, right? If you don't, of course, Chime has, some great scripts, or, we're always doing these small webinars and pick up something here or there,
I have a question, and this one's for Randy. Randy, you know how we're testing out the seller leads, right?
Mm-hmm.
For these new type of seller leads that Chime is going to have. Janki, you'll get them.
They're cool.
They're good.
Oh, they are. Okay.
They're very different. They're very good so far.
They're scary good.
Yeah, you know what? That's very.
I'm not part of.
They're scary. No, Tristan.
Janki,
when you say they're good,
you last week. Don't even go there with me.
Hang on. Here's the thing, Tristan. When everybody says they're good, and hearing you say they're good, see, anybody can say leads are good. These aren't good. These are scary, scary good.
But you make it. You are the one that is doing that, right? I mean, come on, think about it. The leads can come.
Well,
but you're
no.
It's
quicker conversion.
That's what exactly.
That's what I mean by scary good.
Yeah,
they're quick converting.
If you're terrible on the phone, they will suck because you're not talking to them the right way.
Okay.
If you're good, you will
Yeah.
convert these extremely fast. Like literally the last week, we've gotten 3 listing appointments from 5 leads. Okay.
Seriously. And that's in California.
That's exactly where it's really competitive. But here's my question. Randy, with the AI, I haven't turned it on for these seller leads that are coming to everybody.
Do it.
Okay. I was going to, all right, Brett, there you go.
Please do it. Do it and then do it. And then here, A/B test it, Tristan. You've converted 3 out of 5, right? That have come through. Okay. Now I want you to use the AI on that, and I want you to do 5 more and see how that does. Then go back and test another 5 and alternate it. And you can see what works best for you. California is the lowest trust state of any state for online leads. Like there is no trust there because there's so much competition. Yeah. Dude, if you're converting 3 out of 5 of those in California.
Okay, wait, Tristan, I think I know what you both what you and Brett are talking about. Well, both you and Brett are talking about. And I think, Randy, I spoke to this person. Is that the same thing?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So here's my opinion. One, I am always a proponent of the AI assistant. 2, these are very niche, very unique leads, or at least the talk track is fairly unique. Like Tristan said, if you use the standard talk track on the phone, or you're not very good on the phone, you'll probably not be very good. The third thing is one of the next updates for the AI assistant will be custom scripting. And while I don't love that, because I know a lot of people are going to go in there and screw things up for these particular leads.
They will.
I mean, they will. They're just going to think they know better.
Screw this up so badly,
dude. Because if it was a traditional bot like the market has had up to this point, where it's like keyword based and the script was built 10 years ago and hasn't been touched since, like, okay, you can probably do better. But when you're talking about a machine learning bot that has had literally millions of conversations to judge its decisions from, you're probably not going to do better. And that's not an indictment on you. That's just the number. That's just the exposure.
It's a proven
fact.
Yeah.
So to wrap this up, what I was going to say is for these leads, they're going to be super unique. The talk track is going to be pretty niche. There is an opportunity to improve conversion, possibly through some degree of custom scripting, at least at first. So in the meantime, whether you want to use the AI assistant on that, I certainly would never dissuade someone, but given the low volume of leads that are coming through, it's probably fine to handle the calling yourself, because this is a lead source that's not going to be cheap, but as Tristan can tell you, the quality of the individual leads have been really good. So
yeah, it's not cheap, guys. So this is why it's going for probably bigger teams or somebody in a luxury area, niche area type thing.
Mm-hmm.
But so far they've been great, and we've been testing them out for a month and a half. About, Randy, right? Is that right?
Yeah, I would say May, at the end of May we'll make it 2 months, I think.
Yeah, so it'll be really good. But I'm excited to really incorporate the AI into this. And Janki, you're gonna love it. I'd like to see what you think the next round we do of this.
Yeah, I'd love to. I'll connect with them again. It's been.
But so everybody knows, June 1st is going to be when we make the official announcement for the seller leads piece. So don't feel like you're getting left out or left behind. June 1st is going to be the official announcement. So,
and the reason we're testing them out is because, like, Brett and I took a chance. We're paying for this. It's not like we're trying it out for free, right? We're paying thousands of dollars
free in real estate. Yeah,
thousands of bucks a month to test this out and not know if it would work, right? So the first 3 weeks they had to tweak a lot of things for it to work. But once they tweaked it, I was like, oh crap, this is amazing. This is really good. So look, we were like the guinea pigs, but it's working. So Randy, I have a question on AI. How does it work in addition to? It's not part of the original package for Chime. What does that cost? Do you know?
So it depends on the package you have. Some of the packages do include the AI assistant, some don't. But there are 3 tiers of the package, and I should point that out. The tiers are based off of new lead engagements. So that's an important distinction, because an engagement is defined as AI assistant messages lead responds back. That's an engagement, right? So theoretically, the AI assistant could reach out to all of your leads, and if none engage, then it's a 0 number, right?
Okay.
So there's 3 tiers. It's 40 engaged leads. The middle tier is like 100, I think. And then the highest tier is 150 engaged leads. So unless you're generating well over 150 leads a month, you probably don't need the highest tier. The bottom or middle tier should be satisfactory. Even if you're generating more than 40 leads per month, if you're generating like 60, the 40 tier should still be satisfactory because of that engagement piece, right? Not every lead responds. We know.
So on that, Janki, I have a question for you then. Where are your leads coming from, and approximately how many do you get a month?
So we have Chime paid buyer leads coming, right? We have Walopo, we have Street Text, we have all these different sources. I'm looking at probably 250, around 250 plus leads coming, give or take.
A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Ooh,
It
that is
is.
a lot.
That is a lot. That's
And
more
where-
than I thought.
Yeah, and it's a numbers game, right? I mean, you really need to elevate that number to lead generate to get more conversions done, right?
I agree.
The AI assistant works well on all leads. Everything we do is organic at this point, 350 to 500 a day. And then you look at, it does really well on Facebook leads. It does really well on Google leads. It's all about where you catch the lead and then how you follow up with it from there. I posted something in the group earlier today, the 4 stages of where a buyer is in the process. And hopefully everybody saw that. I'll post it again if you didn't.
I haven't seen it yet, so.
That was really good. You know what? Brett was probably writing a whole book while we were doing this, and he's going to.
I was write the new novel. I call it the new Chime Post, and it is a new novel.
That is a good title for it too, by the way.
The Chime novel.
I mean, every time we do one of these, I come up with like a 4 or 5 paragraph post afterward.
Wait. The Chime novel, and you can bet that Adam Frank already got the domain name right now.
Oh, you know for a fact he did.
That's amazing.
Literally the words Chime novel came out of my mouth, and Adam was like,
Let me lock it in.
All right. Well, Janki, you rock. I love interviewing you. It's just inspiring to listen to what you're doing. And you always seem to be searching for a solution rather than finding the problems that a lot of people find with tech. And that's why I love interviewing you.
Thank you. I love being here with you guys. It's such a fun time all the time. My husband always says, okay, so you're going to your other boyfriends, you're going to be smiling, you're going to have a good time. And I'm like, yeah, baby, you want to come join?
That's awesome.
Yes.
Oh, man, yes. So
that's amazing.
Story is for another day. We'll talk about that.
That's hilarious.
Thanks, Janki. Thanks, guys.
Bye, guys.
See ya.
Bye.
Take it easy.